Hi everyone, this is Maria and today I'm going to be making my Easter basket. And so I have an Easter basket here that I purchased at Michael's and I used a coupon. I actually got it 40% off and then plus an additional 25% with a coupon. I'm also going to be using some moss that I got at Joann's, and I also use coupons. I use coupons all the time, you guys. I'm going to use some Elmer's glue and tacky glue, and I'll explain that in a little bit. I'm also going to use some ribbons. You can see I have two color ribbons. I bought each of these spools for 50 cents at Michael's. I got this at Joann's, and so I'm going to put this on the handle, I think. And so I got two different colors. Not sure what color I'm going to use yet, you guys. I'm going to use some scissors, and I have a yardstick here to measure my ribbon. And so I'll probably be adding some more things too, and I'll just show you as I go along. So let's get started. I chose this moss because I love the color. I love it. I like it better than the one that you get like at the dollar store because that's more of a dry moss, a brown color, but I love this green for springtime. And then I'm going to try the Elmer's glue. I haven't used this in so long because I've become so accustomed to using the tacky glue, which I think is basically the same, just a water-based glue. This one's just a little bit thicker, but let's go ahead and try this first. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've done this. And so the first time I made one of these, oh my gosh, you guys, I was probably about 21 years old, 22 maybe, the oldest at the time. And I'm 60 now. So back then when I was young, you could not go into any store and just buy a basket covered in moss. And so you had to make it yourself. And so you guys, it sounds like I'm from the Stone Age, but it's true. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put glue all over this. And let's see if this works, you guys. Otherwise, I may end up with a big mess, right? But that's what crafting is about sometimes. It's like a science experiment. And so let's go ahead and do that. And then I'm just going to take my moss and just press it on. In fact, I may go ahead and experiment and use some of the tacky glue too. See which one I like better today. I definitely would not use the glue gun. Oh, it's sticking, you guys. Look how pretty that looks already. Okay, so what I wanted to tell you, I was a really young mom at the time. I had a baby, got married, had a child pretty quickly, like, gosh, the following year. And then we bought a brand new house, our first house. And so we kind of lived out in the boonies. And so, because I grew up near Disneyland. And so all of a sudden I was living in Riverside, California. And back then in the late 70s, it was just really developing more. More young couples were buying houses. They were building lots of subdivisions, lots of tract homes. And so we bought our first house. And oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember what we paid for our house. I think it was like $50-some thousand, you guys, for a brand new house, 3-bedroom house. And so it was right near the freeway too. But like I was saying, back then that was considered out in the boonies. And I remember our families, my husband's family and my family, they thought we were nuts to move out there. And so, but anyways, you guys, I had a lot of time on my hands. I was home with a baby and I didn't really know anyone, and a neighbor showed me how to make this, an older neighbor. So I remember going to this store in Orange County and I showed them to this lady and she bought some, she ordered some, and she could not keep them in her store. They were selling so fast. Oh my gosh, there's like a little pine cone in here. And so they were selling so fast, and I would no sooner get home and she would call me and order some more. So that was really cool for the time. And actually, you guys, for the time, I was making, I remember, pretty good money on these. And like I said, for the time, I can't remember what I made, but I know it was well worth my time and the drive to Orange County. And so this is looking really pretty, you guys. Really pretty. And look how fast that is, right? I mean, that was the last time I made these, you guys, and so almost 40 years ago. So let's go ahead and continue this way. And then what we're going to do with the handle, we're going to put ribbon. We're going to wrap ribbon all the way around. And then we're going to add silk flowers to it. And then you could put whatever you want on the inside. I happened to have bought some really pretty decorative eggs from Michael's the other day for like $1 each. They were like, I think they were 97 cents each, 99 cents each. And they're really pretty with rabbits. They look vintagey. And, but anyways, you guys, I got 25% off of those. Oh my gosh, I'm really loving this. I love this moss. And so it looks messy, you guys. So I do put down some paper. I don't have newspaper, so I just had some brown bags from Trader Joe's. Some old brown bags that I've had there for a while. And so I'm just using that. And then it'll be easier to clean up my mess. And then you could get these little bits that fall and just stick it in there. You could do this on wreaths also. It looks really good on a wreath. And I will be doing that shortly, as soon as I finish this. I thought, oh my gosh, I better hurry up and get my Easter decorations done because Easter is coming so fast. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing this and I'll be right back. Okay, so then I'm just going to go around the basket and just pat it down. And then I'm going to work on the handle. So now you can see what it looks like on the inside. We've got the moss going over the edge. And so, and you can fill it with anything that you would like. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to put this moss in here or maybe just some regular Easter grass. So now let's go ahead and let's add the moss to the handle. And so let me go ahead and try to work quickly. I can't remember if I used to do the handle first. It's been so long. And so let's go ahead and wrap the moss around. And so we'll go ahead and do this side and then I'll turn it over and make sure I have it on the other side also. most of the moss on here, and so the bottom part is much easier to work with. And so the handle took me a little bit longer. It was like the moss wanted to fall off, and so I just kept scrunching it together. And so what I like about this moss also is there's a little bit of a dampness to it, and I do like that. And so I'm going to fill in some of these little gaps here, and then I'm going to take it outside on my patio for maybe about an hour, maybe 30 minutes to an hour to let the glue dry before I decorate it. And so we're having a nice afternoon here in Southern California, so I'm going to take advantage of the sunshine, and I'll be right back. My basket is completely dry. I left it out in the sun on the patio for about an hour. And so while I was waiting for this to dry, I just went ahead and started working on the wreath. And so my Easter wreath. And so I was putting moss on that too. So it's kind of like making two crafts in one day. Now I have some ribbon. And so I got this at Michael's, like I mentioned, for 50 cents a spool. And there's quite a bit on there. And so what I did was I measured out 2 yards each of this pink and this lavender. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie one end, and I'm going to leave a little bit here. And so I'm just going to tie that in a knot, and I'm going to let that hang. And then what I'm going to do is just wrap it around all the way around the handle of the basket. Just like this. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to do the lavender one, the purple one. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this around, and I'm going to tie this right here. Just like that. I'm just going to pull it in and just tighten it. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and start again here. I was trying to decide if I should start on the other side, but no, I'm just going to do it this way. And this way the ribbon will go all one way. There we go. And I'm just going to put a knot. And you can use more than 2 ribbons if you want. That would look pretty too. Let's try it this way. And I'm going to pull this. Okay. So there we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this around, and I'm going to tie this. This one turned out a little bit shorter one side. See the ribbon? But that's okay. So I'm just going to put a knot. And so we have ribbon hanging on both sides, you guys. Isn't that pretty? So now for some spring color, let's add some pretty silk flowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip some of these. Just like that. And you can decide where you want to snip them, and you can always shorten them if you need to. And then I have some of these lavender daisies, some of these purple daisies. And so I'm going to snip right here. Not too short, but I don't want to leave them too long either. Also, I have some of these Easter picks that I bought at the 99-cent only store. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip them right here. For the wreath, I'll probably leave them intact, but I'm just going to snip that. It just flew, you guys. Here it is, you guys. It landed in the dining room by the table. And so, but you can see the end of it. It's really easy to cut with a pair of scissors. The only thing I was holding it up, and so it flew. But when you're working on it, you'll be working at your table. Okay, so before I go any further with the silk flowers, gluing the silk flowers in, I almost forgot about this garland. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and wind this around. And this is wire, so it bends really easily. Super simple to work with. So let's go ahead and just wrap this around, and you can just leave it on the card. I had taken it off there for a second, and I thought, oh no, that's not gonna work. And so just go ahead and wrap this all the way around after you put the ribbon on, and then we'll put the flowers on. Okay, so now I'm on the other side, and I'm just going to wind it around really tight. And I'm gonna clip that off. This is so nice, you guys. Super simple to work with. And look how pretty this looks, super pretty. So now let's go ahead and let's add those flowers on now, you guys. Okay, I was just making sure that my camera was on because you know, that has happened to me before where I'm making a video and I'm moving along and then all of a sudden I realize that I don't have the camera on. So let's go ahead and put that there. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I'm gonna use the word pretty a lot in this video, I can tell. Sometimes I'm using the word cute a lot or adorable. Really love that. So I'm going to add some more glue here. And you really don't even need that much glue. So I'm going to add all the flowers on and I'll be right back. Now I have all of the silk flowers on the basket. I've also added some of the eggs and I trimmed some of those little picks a little bit more. And so sometimes the flowers didn't go in where I wanted them to. And so I would just place them somewhere else or I worked with them a little bit more. I did both sides of the basket. And so you guys, let's go ahead and decorate the inside. So I have all of these paper towels that I've scrunched up and I'm going to set it at the bottom of the basket because just so I can add some lift to here because I'm going to put the moss in here, I decided. But you know what? I don't want to put all of the moss in here. And so I'm going to take what's left in this package. And so let's just go ahead and set it inside. So I have another package of moss and I just wanted to add a little bit more because it wasn't quite as much as I wanted. So last year I purchased these really adorable Easter bunnies at the Daiso Japan store. So let's see how these look inside the basket. I also purchased these at the Daiso Japan store last year. And by the way, these were $1.50. I believe the other bunnies were $3. But anyways, yeah, they're so cute. And so I think I only have room for one of these though. So I think since I have the bunnies, I'll go ahead and put the chicks. So let's go ahead and set the chicks right there. In fact, I'm going to put some of the moss over the base. So now I'm going to add some of these beautiful eggs that I purchased at Michael's. And so I really love them. You can see it has a really nice shine. These are actually ornaments. And so this one is a rabbit with some flowers. And so let's go ahead and place that one in the basket. So I want to put a pink one in there, but it's going to be really hard to choose. But since the blue one was a bunny, let's go ahead with the little Easter chick. And let's go ahead and add one more. Oh my gosh, they are so sweet. Let's go ahead with this one right here. I purchased these also at the Daiso Japan store for $1.50 last year. And so these are just those little chicks. You can see their little feet down here. And these are the mama chicks with the baby chicks. So let's go ahead and add a couple of these to the basket. So I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I just think they're so cute. Let's go ahead and put one right over here. So, so cute. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold it down. I put some moss over the little feet, the little chickie feet. That looks really cute, you guys. And let's go ahead and set one right in here. So it's getting a little crowded in the basket. It looks like it's just elbow room, you guys. But I do have these really cute speckled eggs that I want to try to add, even if I just add one or two. So let's go ahead and put a pink one back here. And I really like this green one, so let's go ahead and add that right there. And you know what? And I think we also have room for this one. So let's go ahead and add that right there. In fact, I think I have room for one more, you guys, and I'm going to put it right here. So there it is, my moss-covered Easter basket, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I had so much fun making it and lots of happy memories as I was making it also. And so since I mentioned in the beginning that I did these like 40 years ago, in fact, it was 38 years ago to be exact. So thanks for watching, everyone, and happy Easter and happy spring. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.